Hello, welcome to the word of the week, which is for the first week of the month. Each first week of the month is about vibration, and it was house for the talk about house. Um, in past years, I had all the words made for 2 years ahead on every day. I never changed, and the only one that was repeated was beauty every 4 months. Then I was talking about the best of worlds to understand. And the houses are part of each verse on each world. So we have many characters within a house as well. And each character has many members of a family that are as well different and unique. They break down into particular similarities and sometimes very far away from each other. Like me and my sister, but after being apart for so long, I do believe we do have more things in common to be together that align us until last breath. Not just because we grew up together with the same mother and father, but because of our differences. We grew up loving each other and admiring each other and being proud of each other as if it's part of our ourselves. And sometimes sisters and brothers betray, and sometimes families come together and stay together no matter what. Stick for the good of the family and its legacy. I want to talk to the president of Iran. It doesn't matter what title it is. We do have learnings of hierarchy. We have learnings to appreciate hierarchy as one another, to appreciate listening to our people, to help our brothers and sisters. I might be very contradictory, but it's part of talking on behalf of the multiverse that I'm here for, to take care for the leaders of the world to take care of their characters from history, fiction, so they can be traced in the multiverse. Because each character is unique for the tissue of reality when role players in the multiverse are creating a story together. It breaks the tissue of reality. As we find that when we create fictional realities through virtual worlds and stories, I will later show how it works. Uh, Understanding the importance of each one and everyone is more important when you really want to be the owner of the world or of your own house or nation. It is beautiful to have kings, to have leaders of all sorts, to have a cultural embrace, especially in places where Abraham came from a Jew and settled himself in Israel. He was looking for a new world for him. In the same way, Europeans were looking for a new world in the Americas, from north to south. So sometimes the older we are, the more unflexible we might become. And from one side, we have evolution, and from the other side, we have what built us throughout generations and binds us together. I've been listening to people's words for the next week. And Joe Theodore Astro from his channel in YouTube is an astrologer, and I listen to many astrologers, the Pope, Robert Byron, the Bishop from the Catholic Church. Um, I've been listening recently to Paul Ying Sir about consent in narratives and how cross-cultural he is. His family from China and grew up in South America, and he's talking about his ancient roots from China and his masters and the psychology of today. Very interesting. So I love the metaphysical world right now to allow me to relax my brain from the political field. I'm not looking for answers. I know that I can do anything I want. And I know how limited I am as a human being. I question myself how difficult it is to become someone of importance when you love so many things. I always felt to choose a career would be to betray myself. As to choose one boy in the class or girl. I love them all. I didn't know what sex was, but and it is okay to be defined and only love one kind and represent that until you die. You might question whom you are in your culture as the president of Iran. It does feel the interim leader, the president of Iran, Mossad Pezeshkian, uh, will get used to. I will get used to listen to his name. Um, it is very important to have the voice of your country with your closest brothers and sisters as one, because we just need from one person to talk in behalf of the country. Is a tower of control. Is a tower where everybody gives information. In the same way, I have asked for an old friend who was a role player to help me. I knew he would be very busy because he's very important in the world. When we role play, we have an unknown personality. Only the characters matter. So it had to be very bad to ask for help. You go to, if things get very bad, you go to the source. And the source has information of everyone. It's very hard, it's painful to deal with so many beliefs in one nation, with so many houses. When you need the support of everyone, it does seem that he came on the screen appearing very humble and simple because he's afraid of being killed by his own people. All right? He is in a state of being relaxed and having to face that they are good people and they're saying sorry to their neighbors. He is relaxed to express the truth of different bodies having done on their own these attacks against their neighbors. And I guess when you don't know what's going on, we don't know what's going on when chaos emerges. It's very hard. It's very painful. Is uh, I am not I am not a person that wishes people to die or to be alive as if they are dead. So when you put in a balance, what is it better? The death comes along, so there is life. I've been trained from childhood in my boarding school in England. We did not have history. We had recent history, and we only studied the Middle East and recycling. My teenager years in Devon, in England, we were told from their own perspective that it will suck the energy of the world and mislead for the many creativities in need that were emerging from all sides of the world. And that would be like a black hole because they have a problem that's beyond their own knowledge. And I know what that is from being a victim myself on environments where it's impossible to get out unless an outer source does something against my will as well. Thinking with reason is the only way and the best outcome. If I want to keep alive, I put myself in many situations. I know I can do whatever I want. I have a certain power. Problem is that I am not interested We can all put ourselves to do what we want, understanding the realities and the environments, of course, in relation. So each country is unique, each nation. It will be very difficult but possible to ask if they will welcome back their prince, and he would be honored to be a king and support you. You will have the support to be a bridge from the old regiment and the new face, because you are a different person. And to free the women and the girls, the violence would take 4 generations. With multimedia, might take less. It's part of the human rights that are being asked. I want to thank United States for breaking through and making it clear, even though we are all against war. It doesn't matter what you talk about. Your last leader was killing their people, and their people have a voice of their own. It's not comfortable to listen to your own people and all their houses. The king will support you in this transition to promote yourself and your people to be successful and to feel safety. I cannot put the war of the week to be next week evolution, because you cannot have evolution without safety. It can bring a lot of tension if you have genius to create solutions and formulas, as the first computer was created in United Kingdom with the Second World War against Enigma. And the daughter of Byron as well. Thanks to her mother investments with her professors who were the true inventors, perhaps, of an algorithm computing model. The pressure to invent is not from safety, perhaps, from the pressure, but environments of safety and support. It pushes you to be better and look for something that is beyond you. And look at those girls. I'm very happy when I ride my bicycle. I might have a little money. I have the lowest salary of all. And people look at me down. I was not raised to be an employee, but I am free. to do whatever I want. I am a free woman. I don't have to hide. Yes, I will be hidden. I might not be protected as other women in this world, but from the possibilities of being free as a woman, I am. I am in peace. I don't have to explain anyone or fight anyone. There is love in the air. I have loved and been loved. I don't have to have a partner to feel complete or more. Those ideologies die. I look at people for whom they are as a wall. I can see everything through them, even their ancestors, because I am free from that bondage. For the first time in history, we are free from our family as well, if we want to. And we can come back with them, enjoy the beauty of being together with our wealth, unless we were trained to fight for those who don't have freedom and arts, celebration, to hug and touch one another without being judged from third parties. That love is in the environment. The air, the trees grow 3 times faster and beautiful and stronger. My master Osho in India, and I know many people do reject the word master or that I had master as much. I have loved a nun to be a nun and a priest to promise him I will bring him Christians, new Christians, to understand what is Christianity, the Christian like of Jesus. Against the Jews who only want money. He was killed because of having a whip in the temple. So there is much sin to look at and role play in virtual reality and enjoy your sins with more awareness, without judgments. They would understand itself more without analysis, just with playfulness. It needs to be cared in advance. I don't think it's for everyone. It needs to be studied by those who are a bit more mature to experiment. And there are laws who define role play into virtual reality. A science exists with its laws and reasons. This happens, and then this happens if this happens. I've studied war and been active in war for 20 years. I have played 9 wars at a time with all the houses and players, with the river Styx, and many characters behind, supporting sides, or one. But my character is a river, my main character. Just wish to play. My highest play was for people to understand what happens after death, so we could enter into other realms in the afterlife. In our virtual fantasy, energy fields, abstraction, and different forms of expression throughout the natures, throughout states of mind, characters that are not embodied by a person are seen as and interpreted only through that part of nature or science that also has an emotional and psychological field. So, what might seem a fragment or a character trait or a simple element, it has more importance when you see it throughout the expression of the character. In China, the word means a character, and it already has its character traits. They are they are strokes. It has its own characteristic. So there's a lot of beauty in Iran which should not be destroyed beyond its people. Its people can be reborn. It doesn't matter. If they do not care for others, why should they care about themselves if they want to push themselves into death? Those are practical questions one might ask to oneself. Um, I do wish to as well live in safety. My boyfriend has trauma that is ancestral. I don't talk with him about it, and we're separated for 6 months. Maybe I see him, maybe not. That's up to him. And I am very happy with him or without him. So I do have my boundaries to say what I want. If you don't get that, it's fine. You will get it sometime, like now. That is peacefulness. What happens when generational trauma has persecuted your family and it runs through the family, the grief? So his father's from Iran and he was born here in UK. From a mother who is half Native American from United States and his grandmother is British. So he had the traumatized from the Native American as well. And those who were persecuted in Iran that had to run away. is the cause of many illness. I do find religions to be as beautiful as ugly. Mhm. When fanatism starts to emerge, and I have been in India with people who were also fanatics, and I would say, don't worry, this woman is a fanatic, but she loves Osho very much. But you will always find fanatics here and there. But she really does love Osho. And that's why she will talk to you as a fanatic. And if it's the only reason to be. And she will agree and say, yes, it's true. But I grew up in a beautiful environment of love and freedom and hugs and acceptance towards the truth without judgment. We would talk truths without taking it very seriously. Because one day is one truth, the other day is another truth. It's not relevant. Osho asked from us in his discourse to have an Everest task towards the Muslim world, and for the people of Iran to be checked until fourth generation. Iran, he said, because they grew up with a lot of hatred towards other nations, as if other people and other there were other countries in the list, but no more than 3 or 4. The people of Afghanistan also grow up with this hatred, and they might be right. And I'm speaking on behalf of being a victim and a savior as well, and a protector. I know it never ends. Evil never ends. They also feel to be right. The Jews are also eccentric as the Muslim. But this is a time to return to Babylon and understand that we have a universal love, an universal language to understand each other. In this way, I ask you to welcome your brothers and sisters. In this way, I ask you to support each other. Even though I am not from Iran, he will help my boyfriend heal. He's very beautiful and could have children, but your country has taken away his rights, coming from an important family, spiritually as well. People believe strongly in their rights. It's difficult to find new avenues. Today is Saturday, and I wish you to have a good night. Here is 4 o'clock. Um, in Tehran is 7:30 p.m. Think about the safety of your people. Of course, I would rather have atomic bombs so we can move on. In Israel, in Palestine, in Iran, Tehran, so we can move on. It's finished. If you cannot exist, the others should not exist as well. But they will come back again, and people like you, will come back again. The more freedom there is for people to see that they have a way out, but it becomes very difficult to become an immigrant and be mistreated in another land. You lose your social status and everything your families has worked throughout generations. Honoring one another is very beautiful. I used to have the kingdom of France and support many nations, countries, and cultures in the multiverse. But I never had the role of a king or queen or president. So we pushed the narrative for modern writing, as we call it, and people wanted to question if we would kill the last monarch. And we said, no, this is the kingdom of heaven as well. I had to come with a better story to so people wouldn't attack us because we we had a mockery of wars. So I would name each war in the name of something. In the name of celebrating the way, so we would go triumphant and singing to war, marching with our best friends, camping and doing fires. And at the end will be the victorious war that we would be singing all the way along for. That was claimed in the name of the way. Some wars were claimed in the name of sex, so that would be up to the players if they wanted to sack the cities, and some wars were prepared ahead for 3 months. Um, we were many players as well. It was not just me, so it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and it was criminal, and it was Machiavellian. Um, we thought how people could learn how to role play. So people would scream out of character, and we say, "Well, this is virtuality, you know. It's not. If you want to write your story, go and write a book. You'll write everything as you want to, alone, or whomever wants to read that." My books are not to read; they are just to bring patterns. I hope my library is bigger thanks to your library. That is something I cannot do alone. We need others. We need others. And that is the beauty of honoring other leaders. So in France, we said, no, we cannot kill the king because he's an eternal figure. So in France, we still have our king, that was Lear. He's not going to go through the guillotine because he's Lear. He is Lear. He's lace, right? But he was very elegant and very charming. and the ladies love him, so I had to create a lot of male characters around him so they wouldn't fight. The woman wouldn't fight for him. Enjoy your position as the president. Allow your colleagues to do as you consider. There is pressure. There is pressure. The traumas exist throughout generations, as ghosts exist in our traumas. Grief is a trauma that is as bad as pedophilia, sexual abuse, violence, and neglect. Neglect is worse than sexual abuse and violence because at least you know it's bad. You know it's bad. You don't like it. Something about it that you don't like it is not come from your your wanting. Neglect is worse because you do not know. I am sorry for the violence. There are people who care. All right? They're putting all their energy, they're putting their investment, they're risking their reputation as well. It's not a game to win or lose. But grief is something we can talk about later. Um, it's something I carry. Um, I had to write about death when my father was murdered to meet him. That's why I created sticks to flow through that mystery. To understand why was he taken away. He never speaks to me because he's dead. And I do not talk with the dead because the dead belong with the dead. Now, fantasy stories are for the fantasy realms and it has nothing to do with those realities because it's just virtual reality. It's a form of interactive story, and that's it. That's how you keep your mind healthy and your reality. Do not confuse things. You might be inspired. You might learn to talk in certain ways so it's understood. You will love to be as well understood by your people. I'm here to be helped by those I listen to help you as well, to feel supported with the leaders from around the world. In the same way, you support and trust that together you can bring safety to your life, that you are humans, and a prince can return to his land. How would it feel that for you? It's a bit selfish to be protecting your own house with a vibe that never ends for a reason. So we're doing a surgery here to take away the illness and allow the entity of life, that is you, your people, to be alive, to be alive. It might be a fashion that has been imposed to everyone. It's not the only way to be. In fact, it's not the way to be. There are many women that will love to nourish their husbands and family. I have a neighbor here. She used to walk out with her hiding her face and in black. And I just cook in the middle of the house and I have the door open. She enters, they see I am in my pajamas or however, and they don't care to be judged anymore. And she doesn't feel judged by me either. And she shows me her face and her beauty, and we wave. And she asks me to do a website for makeup or cakes. But she also study for herbs. And now she walks free without hiding her face. She feels one with the world. She's not afraid. You can feel it. It's only a judgment. It's not a choice. It's very easy to allow the beauty of yourself as well. Because hiding the other is hiding yourself. You're hiding your own beauty as well. And you look at the future generations, all those beautiful children will become ugly as you and the woman you hide. Look at all of you, how ugly you have become. You're man and you're a woman. There is something about it that's ugly because your skin needs your energetical pool. It's not about sex. It's beyond, like the trees, breathing in the air together towards the light. I wish for you to feel free from that, which was allow the people to make their choices so they all support you as one nation with many houses to maintain the scriptures, the cultures safe. So the next week will be the second week is always about what's internal inside, talking a bit more about technologies and finance, those words, because it's internal. The work is internal when we're working about our own technologies and saving our information. You will learn from the tech titans. They're also trying to make peace. We are all coming to have the spoiling Sir said, a consent in narratives from cross-cultural comings. You do not have to change if you like to do that. Your wife likes to do that. Yeah. The Arab world doesn't need to be condemned. It's beautiful people. But certain cultures do not even like the Arab dance, the belly dance. It is fine. People can do what they want with their life. But something happens with your own people that affects other people. You will go deeper into that understanding when you go to the roots of that hatred, that hatefulness is within you and your people. All of your people, the Jews, the supremacists, the Russians wanting to free the world from these wars, but never stopping to the wars because they are living with their ghosts. The Bolsheviks have murdered so many people. There are not movies about it. We have movies in Spain recently, just the last 10 years, because there was so much silence in Spain. International therapists say it was one of the most traumatic wars in Europe because it was happening within families, within neighbors. So the silence in Spain was deep. Never talk about the problems, war within the nation. And just recently, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they started to do movies and soap operas from the times of war. Because Franco was alive for longer years than Hitler or Mussolini. He brought the Prince of Spain back to Spain because he had to run away to Portugal. Thanks to Franco, he also brought democracy by his own intelligence. He was perhaps the first dictator who came from the military, as most wishing the importance of preserving the culture with the prince. You might call for the first daughter of the Prince of Iran to be the Princess of Iran if you feel threatened by another man, so she can promote for the ladies. But if you like him, Prince Reza of Iran, takes a lot of courage to be remembered. The information we carry is because it's important. We have chosen this information and these values who form us today with the struggles. So grieving is a part of the reconciliation. Is what our Pope asked us for this year, or year of reconciliation. From our house, I'm here with you. Uh, Instead of going to see my mother, I have opened a bank account and I have saved money. I've put £100. I will have some money returned, so I will have put £70 in 1 month. I go to eat in places for free. My work in the store is not good enough. The government pays my rent, and they're asking me to study things my mind cannot process right now. And I will try to study. I chose to study that. I want to be a better. My strive is to give a better explanation. So it is good to talk crazy with and against. So you understand the dualities of everything. Of course, it is crazy. If you talk only about your own, it will sound more reasonable to your own. You are not me. You could never talk on behalf of your enemy or that which you consider is not your own. That is your problem, not mine. Putain, you have your problems to win this war, no matter how long it takes. Be on your grave. You will still have the ghosts of the past and the grief, the death, and the reasons to fight. You have not come to that reconciliation within your own houses because you do not have the love, compassion, or war to try to bring a better explanation to the miseries that you're facing with your people. You have got people being killed in war, losing their fathers, the man that they might never have. There are many men in the world who love to be with a Russian woman. Every country has men and women equally. Who knows? Those are other statistics to see the data. Which country has more men than women to send to Russia and Ukraine when there is peace? So it is peace. And I've dreamed with Russia I was I was in a sort of like coliseum with a roof where they created their own universe there. Uh, they did not just copy me, what I was asking for, but they also copy the universe. Not just the world with 4 floors, which Russia should have, and Africa have their own, with the same truth of the reality of the world right now, which is cannot travel to one place. We need one representative. Not to reach God because we will become God, allowing God to be shown through all the people in your own consciousness as well. So in my dream, I didn't see the world. I was seeing the Coliseum, the ceiling that they have done, uh, like a foot, football stadium as big. The 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 universe, of course, in a smaller format than the reality. So I felt they were still fighting against, but copying and moving and not sharing to be creative and taking the Mickey out like if they were class apart. So when one is sharing, I am sharing you my genius, my engineering ideas from my people, my role players, as I am theirs. You want to create more problems. You putting more problems. You're putting more problems. So you rejoice when the people of Iran are dying because it gives you a reason to keep fighting and killing. And then you go and copy. Then your people will invent from what they copy, but they still bring in problems to the world. So this is not a competence. When we want the world to grow together at the same time and pass the page together. So it is good to accept United Kingdom is a mediator for the world, where we can turn when we need help internationally, to help with the mediations for each culture and continent. This is not about the seats in United Nations who want to give one seat to South America, the Spanish community. I had said one seat to India and Nepal. They share that culture and language is very similar because of the culture is unique and profound. It had impulse Asia with Buddha and their spiritual masters, and we have much to seek there. We could measure the values of spirituality through the thousands and thousands of masters it had. In the same way, in Iran, the many more to come in the future. This is to create characters for science fiction as well. Is your own, from your own. Yeah. It will help the people in the United States to take less drugs and think they are the best in the world as they become more and more selfish, investing in themselves, having banal sex, buying more things, to be more, to have the latest car or spaceship. We are going to count values in the universal coin that are measured with spirituality as well. Values that are not related to how much you have operated your nose and done your hair. If you have more value because you can fake it and you can lie, we will create other universal laws that praise nature. So Putin talks about the green agendas if it's something bad. We do have a lot of problems with the United States not supporting the green agenda. I have myself carry many bags of rubbish from McDonald's, and you will see it in the map because they are lies. The trees they're cutting from around the world, even in Romania, you will see it in your own eyes, standing together as brothers and sisters. You can see the same map in Russia. You can see the same map of the world in with your brothers and sisters. It's the same map being reported as it is. The people in Africa can see it without to have to travel so far. But the grief never ends when it pushes us into a place of sorrow and rage, for that is guilt in a world of no return. It's beyond pain, the void of grief, when you have been touched by losing your right to be alive. Something of you have been cut off. It's not a natural death that has lived it all its life joyfully and freely and generously. When your heritage has been taken, so you're creating more misery in your families instead of prosperity. You have witchcraft. You are convinced of one story that's going to be better, but that's a mediocre version that came in your family for the first time. When the abundance multiplies, then you remember what is abundance, right? All right. That was a vibe from this house to your house. I love the people of the Middle East. I love them very much. Uh, wish you to know that you are capable of doing everything you want when you come with all the people of all your houses to make you more prosperous and rich and abundant to your people and celebrative and joyful and trustful. There is safety because you trust in your people and your people trust you to dress as you wish with your leaders because you are a leader to them and you need each other to celebrate your image. Allow your beauty to shine in the light with your woman. There is spirituality among the skies, among the rivers, the earth, the poets, the artists, the reunion of your information to protect it for your kind, for other cultures to enjoy it as well. Because I would wish that my boyfriend would say that they would not kill him if they find his last name, if he goes to Iran, because his father had to change his birth certificate last name, and he still has the original because he loves his history. He's still spending there in the depths with alcohol, in oblivion, to forget in the void. But he doesn't want to go anywhere. As a woman, you follow your man, spiritually, at least. So I stay there in the void. The void is my house as well. I have many houses as verses to enjoy or study or explore. In the void, I can see anything I want. Will be found for anyone who needs me. So thank you to Joe Theodore Astro for the word safety. We'll talk about what is safe and safety. And it does have to do with the vibe of house, right? So, yeah, the home is in our hearts. But I have been feeling a layer of so much fear, frightening, and safety and settling. It has much to do with your house, the people that you trust, that forms you, which is safe for you. You can ask the people of your country what they want as well. The people of UK can help you when they do votes and polls in a platform to ask. Not everyone is on a platform on internet to ask what they want. Do they want to live like this? What do they think about this? They might be afraid to say the truth. What if you give them freedom and listen to them? My king listens to its people. That's why I'm here. Not just to be an harlequin, make you laugh, or a crazy person in a monastery, so you can study beyond reason, but brings you together in your house. I believe we all have the chance to look at life with our rights. I will never want to be alive. I will fight until the end to have my rights. That's something perhaps you have to fight for. Every corner, every fiber of your society must shake and tremble. You might want to fight for your life or want to run away. It won't matter if your house falls down. What is it life? You will ask again and again as people die and life and death threatens. What is this life for, anyways? Just to be alive. That's all your people wanted. I might linger as ghost, as the people your leader had ordered to kill. We can express in our own mind and understand what's going on. In a country where people are with no right of expression, they have no right of thinking. They do not know why they're alive. They don't know their rights. They just work and eat. That's it. Nothing. They only want to indoctrinate. Even when they come to Europe, they think it's okay. They had never experienced freedom, judgment after judgment, starting to explore the world around them, only with their own friends, family, doing the same over again, with a lot of hatred towards women. There's no appreciation. My mother loved to dress women so they feel beautiful. Women love to look beautiful for one another as well, as much as they love to nourish their family. We find sometimes more meaning for others than to ourselves. We can only do that when we feel safe from the inside, when we have that vibe in the house together. man become more beautiful as artists as well and thinkers. I wish the best to know from Iran and for a revolution that's internal. It feels safe. It's not a revolution against anyone. It's just a flowering reality that no one can change. Imagine the people of Iran returning to Iran, like the people of Venezuela. That will be the greatest, most beautiful. And other people feeling safe, welcome. That's the vibe in the house you wish to have. Aligns to you and yours. Um, wish you the best because you will free us as well. Move on. Do not take for advantage this goodness. The investment Europe has chosen already to do with war has been already spoken and agreed in working in March ahead. There is no way in between. Not confuse the goodness of the European people. Do not confuse the freedom of the Christian world, of the free world. You have a responsibility with the world as being part of the world. Okay? Does not only bother the people of Iran, it does bother the people in the world as well. And this is an Everest task. The master from India said, Osho, an Everest task. So the Muslim world can move on from the solidification of their painful beliefs that go on and on. When you role play them, you will understand, and it might be fun. Yeah, because it's not a reality where people die, it's fiction. It will be a lot of fun. We need to have the diversity and the different beauties. Okay? And of course, the woman is very special for their husband, and their husband to her as well. This is correct? Okay. Bye.